Mr. Matt Hagen. All right, Justin, who do you have making the playoffs this year? I know it's early, but who are your predictions from the National League?
For the American League, actually, I'm going to start off with the American League first. AL East, it really is a toss-up. I'm going to probably be one of the few that select either the Yankees or the Red Sox winning that. I think having Travis Hafner, Kevin Youkilis, Mark Teixeira, Vernon Wells, that's really not a bad problem to have in a lineup for the Yankees. I know they have a lot of age on them. I know they have a lot of injuries, but Ichiro, he'll pick up some of the slack. Derek Jeter, he'll come back in the best shape he's ever been, rehabbing that injury. Don't forget, he batted over 300 last year. But really, the division as a whole is really a toss-up. The Blue Jays have added a lot. If the Rays are ever going to completely win the division, it'll be this year. The Orioles made a great run last year. As far as the Central, I've got to go with the Tigers. I don't see anybody else really giving them much competition. I mean, they added Torrey Hunter. Victor Martinez will be back. He was hurt most of the time last year. And for the AL West, I got to go with the Rangers again. I mean, the Angels, yes, they've added a lot of great bats. They now have Josh Hamilton, but it's kind of like the Lakers. They got Dwight Howard for Andrew Bynum. They never fixed the old age of the team. They never fixed the youth. The same way with the Angels. The pitching is what hurt them last year. Adding a bat doesn't help that problem. It doesn't solve the problem. That wasn't the problem last year for them. They put plenty of runs across the plate. It was the pitching that hurt them. So that's my three favorites right there as far as the AL is concerned.
Don't you think that the New York Yankees tried the same thing and they're struggling with injuries and overall health?
They, of course, and they've done that in years past. And at the end of the year, when you look at that box score and when you look at those standings in the USA Today, they're still 1 or 2 and wind up being in the wild card. Somehow they are a way to fit all the pieces together. The Blue Jays start to deteriorate over the season. The Orioles, I know last year came on strong, but I mean, there's a lot of weak teams there that have been weak predominantly, and I'm just not going to stray away from the Yankees just yet.
All right, Matt, National League, help me out here.
I'm actually going to do all 5 of my National League picks. I think the champion of the East will actually be the Washington Nationals with Steven Strasburg and so the rest of their players, especially their young player who won Rookie of the Year, Bryce Harper. That's it. They seem like one of the best players. Strasburg on his first outing this year, after a leadoff single, retired 19 straight batters and had 53 strikes in 80
Picking
pitches.
back up where he left off.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Central, I'm going to stick with the Cardinals. Cardinals seem like they're going to be the top team, especially with the Astros moving to the AL this year. It's going to make it just a little bit easier for the Cardinals. Astros did fairly well against them last year. My West, I'll say I think the Dodgers, actually. The Dodgers, they've built their team as well. It helps having a Hall of Fame basketball player as an owner who paid around about $64 million in cash to buy the team.
Great face for the franchise, especially out there in LA.
And he threw the first pitch out for their game this time. My 2 wild card, the Braves will be from the East, and I also think the Phillies from the East. So 3 teams from the East will make the wild card.
So you say the champs are not going to get to the playoffs?
No, I don't think the champs will get there this year.
Why not? Where do you see the weaknesses in the champs?
I don't know. The NL has picked up so much talent this year from off season, just in general, and the teams with the new adjustments, say adding the 5th team to the AL West, it's actually tightened up the field. And I'm looking for upsets this year. I'm gonna give you a surprise though, Justin. I like your 3 picks. I think the Astros will make it this year as well as a wild card team.
See, I have a different feeling. I think the top 2 teams in the AL West obviously are going to be the Angels and the Rangers. And I think that's the Angels will have that number 4 and number 5 spot in the wild card. And I think Houston's going to be so bad, as well as Seattle, maybe even Oakland, that the top 2 teams in the division will probably get a lot of free wins at the end of the year on them. Because I think that will be the edge in getting a playoff spot over, say, an NL Central team or AL West. Because, I mean, the AL East, because the AL East, that's 5 talented teams there. The AL West, they'll be feeding off the bottom of the division.
That is just the toss-up of all. But did you not see the Astros play the Rangers in the first game this year?
Yeah, but you're giving me 1 game out of 162 also.
First appearances make an impression.
You're not knocking a dent out of anything.
Brand new team in the AL. First impression. They know what they're doing.
Rangers are winning 8-0 tonight. Yu Darvish threw a 1-hitter, so.
Yu Darvish, that's why.
That's my throwback to you.
All right, what about your choices for the NL? What do you think about the choices for the NL?
The NL, I think you're spot on. I'm going to give the Giants the NL West, though. I mean, that division is fluctuated. I mean, you look one day, the Padres are winning. You look the next day, the Rockies are winning. I mean, all 5 teams, it seems about every year, are at once a division leader there. But I'm going to give the edge to the Giants. Like I said with CJ, I don't think there's any weakness that they have a downfall from last year. They're not better like the Tigers are this year, but the Giants, they're even kill. I'll say that.
So you agree on the fear of the beard for the Giants?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
back?
All about it. All about it.
He was one of the best guys that I saw pitching 2 years ago. Sad that he got injured last year and got knocked out. I wonder how big the beard's going to be this year when you first see him.
It didn't affect him last year. Still World Series champion. So that remains to be answered. So
yeah, I agree with that.
All right, guys. Quick pick. One word. National League representative for the World Series. American League representative for the World Series.
American League, New York.
I'm probably going with the Tigers again. Justin Verlander being a number 1. I mean, he's got his money now. He's as good as they are in the business. Like I said, they got better, adding Torrey Hunter, really well-rounded team.
Right.
I'm going to give the Cardinals in the NL. I mean, the baseball gods have just been with them lately a lot.
All right, guys, we will be right back.
Hi guys, welcome back to NSEN. I'm joined now by I'm joined now by Evan and CJ. We're going to talk now about, since the Super Bowl, who is winning now in the off season. Guys?
I'm going to say the Seattle Seahawks are my biggest winners. You go out and pick up one of the most dynamic playmakers in the league, and Percy Harvin, and get 2 very good defensive ends, and Cliff Averill and Michael Bennett at a minimum price. They improved their team in the areas where they felt that they were really weak at, and I think they are a serious contender with the pieces they have in the young quarterback to make a Super Bowl run.
Seattle's okay, but one word, Chip. Chip Kelly is easily the biggest offseason accusation for the Philadelphia Eagles. First of all, you have Michael Vick, who is the elite quarterback, probably the most athletic quarterback in the NFL right now, and he fits Chip Kelly's style perfect. Then you have LaShawn McCoy, who's easily one of the most hardest running backs in the league. Then you have the big X factor in Deshaun Jackson, who can do anything with the ball. So
my thing with Michael Vick, I do think that he is a good quarterback, but he's older now. He can't take the hits like he used to. That, in my opinion, Michael Vick is the biggest question for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Can you rely on Michael Vick for a full 16 games?
Well, besides the Philadelphia Eagles, I'd have to go with the San Francisco 49ers. First of all, Anquan Bolden for a 6th-round pick is a steal, a huge steal. And they're 1 player away from winning it all. So, San Francisco.
All right. Now, at the same time, my biggest loser would have to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know the new owner, Shad Khan, has a plan, but his plan I don't think is winning over any fans. He has a lot of cap space, but he is committed to building through the draft. And I think it's not going to yield any returns early. You're going to see Jacksonville, in my opinion, shoulder the number 1 pick going forward for a couple of years.
I'd have to agree with you. They haven't changed a thing about the program. They need a quarterback. They need an offensive line. They have no defense, and they haven't done anything this offseason.
You don't think Blaine Gabbert's the answer?
I don't think he'll get it done, just being honest. He doesn't have the mechanics of an elite quarterback like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady.
It's a little harsh to compare Blaine Gabbert to Peyton Manning. I mean, Manning and Brady, they're the best to ever do it. So, Gabbert was young, thrown into the fire early. It's like the same situation with Tennessee. They struggled in their first year with their new quarterback starting. I think that you have to wait at least another year to make an accurate judgment on Blaine Gabbert. That's how I see it.
Peyton Manning's like a god, guys. We can't compare anyone to him yet. Come on.
Not yet,
Not yet.
unless it's Andrew Luck.
Maybe.
I feel like Peyton Manning is probably the second best quarterback in the NFL, next to terrific Tom. I mean, 3 rings, 5 Super Bowl appearances. Peyton's been there how many times? Twice?
3 times.
3 times.
It's a legit
Won
point.
1, lost 2. I don't know. Tom Brady could throw him a ring and still have to. So
All right. Which team has the biggest question mark going into the draft?
definitely the Baltimore Ravens. I feel like they've lost so much. First of all, when you lose a Ray Lewis, who is easily, probably...
Guys, it looks like we're running out of time. You both have brought some great points to us tonight.
We're
CJ,
gonna-
Evan, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us
We'll
tonight on
pick back up
NSEN.
next week.
We will catch you guys again next week.